Welcome to NorCal Slot Car Scene. In motorsports, it's a given that you try to get your car as light as possible. Colin Chapman said it best. His Lotus 11 design had less than 100 horsepower, but weighed under 1,000 pounds ready to race. Slot cars, however, are a bit different. A typical slot car weighs in about 70 or so grams. Being this light and having so much power, most of the time adding ballast to a car will result in improved lap times. There are, however, components of a slot car that can benefit from reducing weight. That is rotating mass. The rotating mass in a slot car are the wheels, gears, and rear axle. When power is applied, the motor rotates those parts to accelerate the car. Conversely, when the car needs to slow down, heavier parts resist the braking force of the motor. Slot.It cars with motor in the inline configuration are equipped with a steel axle and a crown gear with a heavy brass center. Replacing those two parts with optional lighter parts should result in a car that accelerates faster and brakes quicker. The optional Slot.It parts are a crown gear with an aluminum center and a hollow axle. The standard brass crown gear weighs in at 4.6 grams. Add the axle, and you have an axle assembly that weighs 7.2 grams. The fully complete lightweight rear axle assembly weighs just 3.4 grams. In this photo, you can see that I've modified the aluminum gear so the motor shaft is no longer spaced by the gear. I'm using axle collars to space the axle from the outside of the chassis. The benefit to this is that the motor shaft no longer uses the gearbox to create the gear mesh. This removes the drag caused by the motor shaft against the gear. How does the car perform with the new lightweight parts? This Slot.It Porsche 956 is the car I used to win the recent NorCal Challenge Group C race. In that race, I qualified second at 4.51 seconds. For this test, I used the same set of tires, so the only difference was the lightweight rear axle assembly. The lane I used to test is about a tenth faster, so my goal for this car was a 4.3 lap time. Within 20 laps of testing, I had a best lap of 4.27 seconds. The experiment was a success. Reducing the rotating mass with the optional Slot.It parts lowered my lap time by over a tenth of a second. That may not seem like a lot, but over a 12-minute race, it's almost 4 laps. I'll take a 4-lap improvement any day. Thanks for watching. This is Jim Rose with NorCal Slot Car Scene.